Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and I'm really grateful for you guys swinging by the channel to spend some time with me and watch the video. I always really appreciate that. And guys, today we're going to talk about the 3 bad habits that most every bass angler is going to have to break out there if they want to really reach the next level of success in fishing. So we're going to go over that today and give you guys some tips on it, and definitely like to get your guys' feedback on this as well. Also, guys, just a quick reminder, you probably heard me talking about it the last couple of weeks. Tackle Warehouse has got their summer kickoff sale going on right now. They got a bunch of good deals on all their stuff that they got at Tackle Warehouse, rods and reels, tackle, trolling motors, raincoats, whatever you may need. If you're interested, I'll put my Tackle Warehouse link in the description, and if you can use and bookmark that link, it's a really good way to support the channel and much appreciated by me and my family, so I appreciate that. Okay guys, there's a lot of bad habits fishermen have out there. I mean, there's a list a mile long, but there's 3 that come to the top of my mind that I really want to get into today, because I think these 3, if you are aware of it, and if you make some changes in the right direction, you're going to see a huge leap in the success you have and your consistency in fishing as well. So the first bad habit that I see most anglers make is they set the hook too hard. I think that there's a lot of different reasons to that. Maybe it's a throwback to the days where we used to use a monofilament line that was stretchy and you had to set the hook, harder. But today, guys, with the modern technology on the rods that we have, different rod actions, fluorocarbon line, braided line, lines that have less stretch, and the fact that we have chemically sharpened hooks now, our hooks have really improved over the past 20 years. Used to be, guys, I had to carry a hook file in my boat with me all the time and always touch them up, and the barbs were bigger, diameters were bigger, so we got better equipment. So you just simply don't need to set the hook that hard. You still need to put force behind the hook set, but you don't need to set the hook hard. And I think it's a natural reaction. It's like if you throw out there, if you flip your worm or your jig out there and you get a bite on it, you just want to reel back and jack them as hard as you can. See people do this all the time. What happens when you do that? There's 2 things that happen. There's 2 problems with that. Say, for example, if you pitch a jig out there or something and a fish hits it, if you set the hook really, really hard, a lot of times, if that fish is clamped down on that jig or any other type of bait, if you set that hook super hard, it will pop that fish's mouth open. The fish maybe has inhaled that bait, like it comes down, boom, it inhales your bait. It may not have a hook in it, and if you set the hook really hard, a lot of times it'll force that fish's mouth open, and the jig or whatever will just come straight out of the fish's mouth. The second problem you have with it, which is more common than the other, is that the bass has a soft membrane right here on their lips. And if you set the hook hard and the hook is penetrated into one of those membranes, it will easily rip a hole in that fish's mouth there. It'll rip a hole a ½ inch to an inch wide, depending on how big the bass is. And then obviously, when the fish jumps, you're gonna lose it because you've ripped that hole in there. So what you wanna do is, when you get a strike out there, now this is so critical. I've learned the hard way, guys. I have lost this mistake that I'm getting ready to tell you that I made has cost me winning probably a half a dozen Bassmaster tournaments and tens of thousands of dollars in money by setting the hook too hard. I finally figured out, after studying it over and over, analyzing the people that didn't lose many fish, the way to set the hook is when you get a strike, anything, doesn't matter if it's a worm or crankbait or whatever, make sure that line is tight. And then when you feel that line tight, start reeling fast and pull back into it. Don't go like this and pull back on it. So what's happening is you don't have that instant force that forces that fish's mouth open or rips the mouth. By reeling fast in there, you're constantly penetrating that hook. It's like that. If that hook has got any type of a surface to get on, by you reeling and putting pressure on it and pulling back on it, it's constantly putting that hook further and further into that fish's mouth till it gets to the barb. And if you happen to get it in the soft part of the mouth, it'll just put a little hole there and it won't rip it. So setting the hook is the first, bad habit a lot of people have, setting this hook too hard. Second bad habit people have, guys, is fishing too fast. This is another extremely common one, and this will do nothing except reduce the amount of fish that you catch. Fishing it's not about fishing fast or slow. It's about finding the right pace for the day and not slopping through an area. What happens is, a lot of times, if people are not catching fish, they tend to speed up. It's like they want to get to the next piece of cover, or they're trying to cover water. There's a little bit of, anxiety, or just you get out of rhythm a little bit, and you wind up fishing faster and faster. And the faster you fish, the fewer fish you're going to catch. So always catch yourself that. It's like when you're fishing out there, I don't care what target you're fishing, make sure that you're fishing whatever technique or whatever it is at the appropriate speed that allows you to have the maximum casting efficiency and ability. It's like you've got to be able to put that bait where you want it, and you can't do that if you're fishing too fast. And also, if you're fishing too fast, you can't manipulate the lure correctly. It's like if you're trying to impart action on a lure and keep it in the strike zone a long time, you can't do that if you're going too fast. You have got to slow down, find the right pace, and fish slow and methodically and deliberately. There's so many times that you're fishing past so many fish, and especially like if you're in a tournament and your co-angler's catching a lot of fish, that's because you're fishing too fast. So when you get to a piece of cover, I don't care if it's a dock or a tree or a grass spread or whatever, just take a deep breath, relax, and just slow down. Just slow down. It's like it's not going to hurt you anything to slow down, but it will hurt you if you speed up. So main thing is just be aware of that. That's really important. And the final bad habit that most anglers make out there is they've got their umbilical cord attached to forward-facing sonar and their electronics. Now, this is a huge problem as far as your evolution as a bass angler. One of the most important lessons that I learned back when I was fighting competitively is my sensei would always tell me, it's like, Randy, you have got to master, you've got to remember, and you've got to focus on the basics. Your foundation, your basic, techniques is going to allow you to master it at a higher level and be efficient in your fighting out there. So he was always stressing mastering the most simple, basic, foundational elements of martial arts. And it's the same with bass fishing. You cannot be a 20-year-old kid out there and immediately dive into the sport of bass fishing as a spotlighter and expect to achieve any type of gratification or long-term sustainable success out there. Every single bass angler should master the fundamentals of the sport before they do anything with electronics. You need to understand seasonal patterns and bass movement and behavior and personality. You need to understand how to break down cover. You need to understand targets and casting angles, casting efficiency, and lure profiles, lure colors, all the basic foundational principles about how weather affects fish, about how water clarity and water levels affect fish. It's the basic bass fishing 101. This is something that takes due diligence. It takes time to learn that. If you're one of those anglers out there that think you're going to skip all that, skip all the foundation and skip all the basics on it, once the plug gets pulled on this cheater box, this forward-facing sonar crap, then what are you going to do? You're going to be back to square one like a kindergartner that doesn't know anything about bass fishing if you can't turn that electronic unit on. One of the best things you can do to strengthen your success and get past this bad habit of being over-reliant on your electronics is don't even take them out on the boat with you. Go out fishing occasionally and take your electronics off, where you just have to fish primally. You have to approach targets, you have to break down targets visually, and that is going to allow you to establish that foundational element and the baseline that you can build everything else on. So that reliance on technology, especially in the era of spotlighting for bass, is an extremely bad habit that a lot of the younger anglers are getting into. It's also an extremely bad habit some of the older anglers that are getting into, especially like crappie fishermen and people that fish offshore for bass a lot. So anyway, guys, that's 3 bad habits. Definitely you want to stop setting that hook so hard. You need to slow down. You need to not be relying on your electronics. And if you do that and become aware of those aspects, your fishing success is going to increase by leaps and bounds. So hope it helps out. We'll talk later.